Hey, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Steven and I'll be facilitating today's presentation. We'd love to get to know you a little bit as we're going through the presentation, so please go ahead and make your pitch to us. We'd love to hear just a one-liner of the venture you're working on. If you don't want to share that, then let us know where you're dialing in from. We'd love to know which city and state you're tuning in from, and just to get to know you a little bit better. For a basic overview, we're going to go ahead with the slides and take questions at two different sections, the fireside chat at the end and at the end. But if anything pops up, feel free to place your questions in the chat and we'll do our best to recall them later on. A little bit about FoundersBoost. We started in 2012 and have been growing across cities over the years. We've been helping pre-seed startups prepare for accelerators, investment, and revenue, or AIR for short. And let me say it here and now, there are no fees or equity exchange for this program. I repeat, we take no fees and charge no equity stake. This all boils down to one simple truth. Your success is the ecosystem success, and that's good enough for us. Some of our other program locations include Chicago, London, New York, and Pittsburgh, to name a few. We believe our entrepreneurs can change the world. The data shows there's a huge chasm for new startups to get across the void to become, to avoid becoming another failed startup number. And there's a few reasons for this, from mindset and connections to mentors and access to capital. And that's where FoundersBoost comes in to close that gap and to get promising startups towards AIR and long-term economic impact and growth for all. So to say that a pre-accelerator is a lot of work is an understatement. In just 6 weeks, we are going to squeeze you through a quarter of intensive bootcamp. And this includes mentorships, workshops, refining your pitch, and pitch deck prep. So whatever you need and wherever you are in your startup lifecycle, it's our job as co-directors to support you and surround you with all the resources that you need to move towards your AIR goals. And we aim to cater the program around each company. So we try to speak to you as early on as possible so we understand, one, what you're dealing with, what your headaches are, what keeps you up at night, so that come the program, we surround you with all the things you really need, and we can help you accelerate as quickly as possible. And if there's one pet peeve I have, it's wasting people's time. So let's put that to the test. We have invited an alum from our prior program to share their experience of having gone through the program. So we're gonna welcome up to the stage, Cora. Welcome, Cora.
Thank you. Hi everyone.
And Cora is CEO of CoraNet Solutions from the spring 2021 cohort, right here in our own backyard of Washington, D.C. So we're gonna go through a few questions, but first of all, how are you doing today, Cora?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. And so we're looking forward to hear the latest updates on the company. But first, for the general audience, some ground rules. As nuggets of wisdom or questions come to mind, drop them in the chat so we can react and shape the conversation based on your feedback. So first of all, how did you hear about FoundersBoost, Cora? Back then it was called Startup Boost, and what really caught your attention then?
Sure. I got an email from Suego about Startup Boost at the time. Now it's FoundersBoost. And it was on the last day that the application was supposed to be submitted. I immediately filled in the application. What caught my attention is the access to one-on-one mentorship and access to global network and the possibility of finding investors. That's what caught my attention.
Nice. And digging a little deeper there, what was the experience like when you started going through the program, going through it up until the end? Can you tell us a little more?
Sure. It was a very intense experience for me. I call it like an MBA squeezed into 8 weeks. It's like a mini MBA. And when I started, I did not know what to expect because I have done government contracts before for the Department of Defense and the VA. and had contracts in 9 countries and 20 states of the Union, and I thought I knew everything. And it was across 19 time zones. I had over 600 employees. And as it turned out, I did not know everything I need to know, because what the Founders Boost offer is actually a mentorship, a program to prepare startup companies and founders into the corporate world, which is totally, totally different from government contracts. Because now you have to deal with the big corporations like Apple, Google, all the health insurance companies, and many, many other startup companies. So the competition is so fierce, and now you have to really position yourself to be a cut above the rest. How do you get noticed by people? How do they believe you? And what are the things that you need to know to be able to present that you know so much and that you're confident about your ability? And the program actually helped me with that. So to me, it's a very, very valuable experience, and I'm so glad that you guys accepted me into the program.
We were glad to have you, and you learned a lot, and you also, shared some of your insight with the other participants. So we're very grateful for that. Now that you've been through the program, in hindsight, what would you recommend doing differently for somebody that's coming into this for the first time? Anything come to mind?
They have to get ready to expect the unexpected. I would say that. And if you have other leisurely activities, you might want to kind of reduce those leisurely activities, because the program is so intense and it's all self-directed. What I really like about the program is that we were given all the tools to learn on our own. You gave us all of the videos, the webinars, all the programs, and all of the people within the organization, and all of the different actually like systems that we can use to be able to learn on our own. So it's really up to the person or the founder to be able to absorb and learn everything on their own. You guys provided all of the facilities, but it's up to us to really make good use of it. And that's what I would say to people. Make sure that you're ready to give up some of your leisurely activities and just go right into it.
Yeah, and somebody's asking about the mentorship piece. What was that like? Did you connect with any mentors, or how did that go for you?
Oh, definitely. The one mentor that I gravitated to is the one who criticized me the most. The one who was not very kind to me. I said, okay, if you're so unkind to me, you're criticizing me to the hilt, maybe I'll challenge you. So then I asked him all the hard-hitting questions and challenged him to help me, and he truly did. I cannot believe that he took me up on all of those difficult questions and challenges I gave him. And we became friends in the end, and I'm still in contact with him to this day. Yes.
That is awesome. And part of the magic sauce of what makes Founders Boost so special are those mentors that the participants get access to. But moving on, because I want to be respectful of your time. In hindsight, what was demo day like? We go through the program, you get access to mentors, and then we help you refine your pitch, and then demo day comes around as the last big event. What was your experience there through that process?
To me, demo day is the culmination of all the hard work that we have done. But it's the most challenging thing to me was to create the video for the demo, because it's so limited to 3 minutes, and you have to pack so much information into it. But with the help of the mentors, I was able to, I believe, convey the message I would like to convey. And so to me, it's like the culmination, or like a graduation day for me. The demo day is my graduation from the program. And then I said to myself, I survived it, and now I'm ready to take on the world. And I truly am. I learned a lot. Thank you.
Another question here, and I think this can speak to you a little bit more, is when it comes to people getting accepted to the program, they're asking about, did you have your co-founders or your team members kind of join in? What was that like?
It was difficult for me to have the co-founders or the team members to be with me all the time. Their schedule is so especially now that we are not together in the office, everything is virtual. So people's schedules kind of like very, very different. But I talked to them, but most of the time it was kind of just me bouncing off ideas with them. It's not that easy if you're not together, but I survived it and I shared information with them. They were supportive, but they cannot always spare the time for me. Um, but I truly understood that. So it was a little bit difficult, but I survived. Yeah.
Yeah, and the program, we focus on one co-founder. If there's more than one, then one or two. But for the if you have teammates and other stuff like that, they don't necessarily have to join in. So don't feel like everybody has to join in. As long as you, as the main founder or co-founder, commits to it, then the experience will only help the organization overall.
Yes.
And so, as we near the end, now that you're an alum, what is the experience like there? Are you keeping in contact with any of your participants? Are you connecting with other alumni folks? How is the alumni period looking like?
I would say that occasionally I would email them or get in touch with them on LinkedIn. And so it's not really like an everyday thing. And I kind of follow their activities, and I communicate through Slack sometimes, which we have. But to me, being an alumna of this thing, I would say that I'm very proud to kind of talk to people about it, and that's how nice it is for people like you guys who to offer this program for free. You don't even charge anything, and all the effort that you had put into it. I actually sent it out to a lot of my friends and those other young people who are thinking of starting up a company. As a matter of fact, I've introduced your program to 3 or 4 people. I don't know if they have contacted you. I believe, sent this gentleman who is, I don't know if it was you. You asked me if there's other mentors I could recommend. And I found this person, of course, who is very self-centered and, who believes too much about himself. I think he truly is worthy of that because he has been around in the big corporations and in the big establishments. But when I told him about Startup Boost, and I said, Doctor, you need to talk to them because you need to help these people out. And I don't know if he sent me an email that he contacted you, but I don't know what happened to that. So,
okay, we'll have to check there. But yeah, for the alumni program, you do have access to the other alums across the other chapters since 2012. So the one potential benefit there to gravitate towards is if you have a hard-hitting question, you can access a mentor, put it in the Slack chat for the community, and let's see if any of the other participants or the alums can answer some of that before your mentor gets back to you. So that could be another way to leverage the mentor network. But very careful of your time. We really appreciate this. But tell us what's next for your company, Cora. Any recent wins or ambitious goals, or what are you focusing on next?
Sure. Shortly after I graduated from the program, I was contacted by Amazon, and I was invited into their AWS partner program. And I was very excited about that. 3 of the members of the organization flew in from Texas to meet with me in person, and we did. We have started the process. They reviewed our system and passed the security check. They will do a test of the architecture of the system, and then do a foundational technical review, and eventually put us in the global Amazon marketplace. So I really look forward to that because I hope and I believe it will open really the doors for me. And they also talk about funding, scaling the program, because I told them I have 3 or 4 more things I want to add to the platform. And they said, yeah, we have funding for things like that, and we could do it in our lab and do pilots for you. And so that's one of the things that happened. And also, one of the original founders of Startup Boost, or FoundersBoost now, contacted me and said that he knew about me through Paper Street, which of course is part of the FoundersBoost, and said that I will help you find investors. So he's gonna be working with me in trying to position me into meeting those investors. He says, I'll probably give you about 12 to talk to, and hopefully one of them could buy you. I said, boy, that would be unbelievable if that's true, because I'm still struggling with my company as far as revenue is concerned. But if that happens, that would be a win, really a good win. So to me, I feel like being really in the program had opened doors for me. And
Awesome.
I truly, truly appreciate you, gentlemen. I really do.
No,
And
and thank
I recommend the program to everyone who would
Yeah, no,
like.
and we're grateful to have you, Cor. You bring a lot of insight as well, as do all the participants. So we're grateful that you're able to share your experiences with them. And I'm glad that you found a connection point now, because it sounds like you're going through your venture raise soon, or you're looking for investment. So awesome stuff. But thank you so much. I know we're mindful of your time. We really appreciate you sharing your experience with the community. Definitely stay safe, and we'll reconnect over at FoundersBoost X community.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Cora. All right, so there you have it. That was Cora. Want to thank her again. And Cora is just one of the many other startups and founders that have been through the program this past spring. Amplio.io is going right now through a crowdfund raise on Republic for 1.2 million. I believe it closes out at the end of October. INF Care and Heirloom Cloud, others that are starting to think through their investment round next. And so they're going through all the same process of finding investors and going through that fundraising gauntlet, as they call it. And make no mistake, if there's one thing you get from all this, is that FoundersBoost is a mentor-driven pre-accelerator program. We bring some amazing professionals across diverse experiences to guide and help founders get unstuck and edging closer to past the proverbial startup chasm of death. We want to make sure that they avoid that and go on to grow and scale. And a huge thank you to our mentors. This is just a sample of them that we're cultivating to help you grow and accelerate. And going big picture, we received more than 4,000 applications. More than 300 startups have been accepted into the program since we first began, and a combined raise of 85 million across the alumni network. We have a strong and impressive alumni community. You are here to be the right kind of busy, and so are we. For those seeking venture capital, our investment portfolio is diverse across many firms. Interesting to note, we do not have any particular preference towards any one accelerator or another. In fact, we don't believe venture capital is the right path for everyone, hence our diverse air focus. And speaking on diverse, let's pause for a brief moment to bring up an important point. We can't operate in good faith in the capital of inclusive innovation without being hypersensitive to diversity, equity, and inclusion. We are beyond the moon and back proud of our work to reduce barriers for the new majority, and we'll continue to do so because as humans, we still have a long ways to go. And we partner with dope organizations to continue the good work, so you're in good company from the start. But let's break down the programming so you get a better sense as to how the 6 weeks actually looks like. Each week, we have a deep dive into a topic, and we invite a seasoned expert to go past the basic content fluff and everyday community events for more in-depth discussions and actionable insights that can be quickly applied to your business. We then move into more focused pitch coaching, because the challenge after developing product market fit and scalable processes is to communicate this to win over investors, partners, customers, etc. You get some tough love here with a focus on the love, because we want you to crush your pitch when it really matters, like pitching to Richard Branson or Melissa Bradley as some examples. And a big question many of you probably have is what we're looking for in a business and in your application specifically. So always is team, team, team. Are you the founder to build this and take it forward? Do you have the grit to push past the ups and downs and ambiguity and chaos that's coming? Are you open to feedback? Do you apply the learnings to do more faster? Do you have a well-balanced team? Are you a mix of technical and business backgrounds? Are you passionate about what you're building and looking to change the world? That's what we're looking for. We really care about and are looking for team, team, team. The next thing is market. Is this the right time? Is there a viable path to grow market share? What's the likelihood of it being successful? An example here, some of you may be scientists who started developing technology in the lab, and it could take 15 years of refining that tech in the lab. That might be too early, but let's have a conversation and figure out where you're at and whether your technology is ready for market and in the program. The next thing we really look at is traction. We tell everyone to reach out as soon as possible if you're interested, because we want to see you execute over time. What have you accomplished since we last connected? Put us on your update email so we can see all the things you are accomplishing. You are bringing on into a new team member, or you secured a partner. You're testing the product in a new pilot. You generated some revenue. Anything can be traction, really. It can even be a failure. It can be we learned this was the wrong approach, and now we're slightly pivoting. Learnings are an exception because it means an advantage over other people. So traction is key. We want to see you can execute. And so keep us in the loop and add us to your update emails. We're there to join the ride with you, and we want to see everything you're accomplishing. And the last thing we look at is solutions. So obviously, what are you building? We want to know what you're going after. Is it a significant problem? And have you developed at least a minimum viable product or solution to that problem? So while startups pivot and iterate a lot, the idea and solution is not nearly as important as the problem you're going after. So as long as you've been focusing your background and your expertise, investing so much of your energy building this, the solution can pivot. But we just want to see that you're going down the right track. So we've given a few examples of traction, but feel free to let us know other ideas you may have to show signs of progress and traction, and you can put that in the chat. So some commonly asked questions to go over. What's our mission or outcomes? The program is diverse in its approach to help ventures grow and scale. So some go on to apply for an accelerator, others want to begin their fundraise gauntlet, and others want to go the traditional route through good old-fashioned customer acquisition. There's no right way here. The path you decide to take is up to you. We'll be here to guide and connect you based on what you decide. Another question, what's our method exactly? We deliver outcomes through mentorship, focus on priorities, and strategic connections. Another question is, what else is there beyond the 6 weeks? Well, you have two capstones. You have demo day and investor days and access to the FoundersBoost community. First, demo day has evolved beyond just a capstone milestone. It's more of a celebration now. Investors and other entrepreneurs look forward to our demo day to see the rising founders and ventures that DC has to offer. We have investors who we invite to check out the vetted talent and potential deal flow opportunities. Second, through the FoundersBoost X community, we host various workshops. Optional, of course, because let's face it, you're all busy building your business. But the events are aligned with what our startups need to scale up and apply towards growth and scale. And remember, be the right kind of busy. We focus on keynote speakers and curated content and webinars, group mentorship workshops and meetups, mentorship, and you also get access to exclusive perks and discounts like on software services and tools or travel accommodations. And so, we're really coming to a close here for this Ask Me Anything meet and greet. This is actually a really big step because not only are you getting FaceTime with us, but you're also getting to know a little bit about who we are and what we offer. This is the best time to ask questions if you have any. So, but also for us to get some time with you as well. Next, what you'll want to do is apply before the deadline, which is September 16th. We have our own preference for the application process, so apply early so you can see your traction and progress during the application process. And lastly, you'll go through an interviewing and screening with our team before the final selections are made. And then just want to give you some background on ourselves and the program because you'll be working closely with us, from the co-directors to the program leaders. And it's valuable to see the things that we've been through. We come from various components of entrepreneurship and across the ecosystem. Myself, I'm a founder first, mostly in the marketing and future industry space. I worked in catalyzing entrepreneurship ecosystems across 170 countries, recently focusing on US and Canada and Colombia through Techstars. Fun fact, my venture capital experience actually began through Next Gen Venture Partners here in DC. Back then it was Startup Angels. My core focus now is helping brown and Black businesses grow and scale through 1863 Ventures, doubling down on disruptive innovation and future industries through Swago and MA Coalition. As next steps, I'm diving down the DAO, or Decentralized Autonomous Organization rabbit hole, focusing on blockchain and learning more about exponential technologies. And I'm kind of aiming for the space industry someday. But at the heart of it all, I'm a community builder, catalyzing connections or nodes across stakeholders to accelerate more equitable economic development and wealth generation for all. My colleague, Stephen Beecham from Angels and Entrepreneurs, amazing resource when it comes to angel investment and pipeline and deal flow and how to think about when you're going for a venture raise, whether it's traditional route or you're going for crowdfunding. Stephen's a pretty awesome champion there and very knowledgeable. And it takes a village to raise a startup, and we could not make the magic happen without the support of amazing program associates. Floor is one of those, more in the background, but they work a lot to help us make sure logistics and some of the tech and all that jazz is kind of flowing smoothly. And there's still room for another program associate to join the team. So if you know anyone we'll put in the chat some information so that you can share it or you can apply yourself. All right, it's in the chat. And we'll end with some key dates and details. For our fall 2021 program, applications are open and they close September 16th. Remember, it's a virtual experience again for safety reasons from October 5th through December 8th, every Tuesday, 6 to 9 p.m. So if you're interested, feel free to reach out or simply apply. And with that, applications are open. Apply sooner than later if possible so we can get to knowing you more and seeing your progress for more holistic understanding of you and your awesome venture. I know I already answered some questions here, some other common questions that tend to pop up. I am pre-revenue, can I still apply? Pre-revenue is fine depending on the business model. Many don't make revenue to start. So really, do you have any traction to speak of? Make sure to say that on the application. Another question, I am a solo founder, can I apply? Not a big detriment, just we have seen more success when it's a team. Make sure to showcase your team on the application if you're going solo or who you're planning to recruit that you really need on your team. Are there any fees? Nope, no fees, no equity taken. What are the time commitments? For us in DC, Tuesdays, 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern. If you cannot make them, you will pretty much miss out on the mentors, which is the pretty big magic sauce of it all. So that's the only thing we'd warn you of if you can't make them. It's only 6 weeks, every Tuesday for just 6 weeks. So it's not that much. Will this be in person or virtual? For the fall 2021 cycle, we are doing it all virtual. So any in-person activations, if we do have any, they'll be optional, but they'll be separate from the core programming, which will be all virtual. So I just want to say thank you all for joining in. Feel free to reach out to us. I'll put my email in the chat. And if you have any questions, oh, it's already there on the screen, then just let us know. And also, if you're not sure about something, don't be afraid to ask questions. We're here to help you think through them. And I want to thank everyone again for your time. Time is precious. Thank you so much. Apply. And thank you to our amazing alumni, Cora, for all the amazing work that she's done and will continue to do to grow and scale her business. So thank you all. Have a great day and hope to see your application soon.